Imagine a world without cash. Sounds great to some extent, right? No more lugging around a wallet that you might sit on and kind of cause you to like lean over a little bit, No need to be scared of thieves. I mean, you're totally safe with your money online, right? Or are we? Think of it this way. How many times has your online banking app messed up? Or maybe a QR code? How about transactions that you're not aware of? Nobody can do away with that cash in your wallet, but when it comes to the World Wide Web and this new age of online banking, it's easy to say that theft is an issue. The future also looks to have more major blackouts since our electrical grid is fragile as heck. How are we supposed to access our cash then? The CBDC is expected to be activated by July of this year. Okay, technically it's not CBDC, it's FedNow. But that's right, guys, the groundwork will be laid by July. Also, how would you feel if your money expired? Now, it boggles the mind that this might actually become a reality. Here's a question. Do you guys trust politicians with your money? Oh wait, let me do one better. Do you trust Washington, D.C. with your hard-earned dollars? Comment a quick yes or no in the comments on that one. Now, before I begin, guys, please take a second, smash the like button for the video. It absolutely helps me out a lot and helps the channel to grow. I really appreciate every click that you guys make. And if you're in need of your daily dose of the truth when it comes to Social Security, SSI, the stock market, the housing market, global happenings, and everything going on in Washington, D.C. that affects us, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. And for the best way to invest in gold, you'll see a link for that in the description down below this video. Now, there are people who tell me that I'm nuts for thinking that, we're ditching the US dollar for CBDC. And when I say the US dollar, I'm talking about the physical cash, money that you own in your hands, right? Yeah. But times are changing and we're fast tracking to a world where cash is possibly being made to be obsolete. So is it crazy to think that we're now on this road to a cashless society? Absolutely not. Check this out. A growing number of US national parks are now no longer accepting cash for entrance fees and other services. Let that sink in just for a minute. You still there? Good, because you're not going to want to miss out on what else that we're about to be talking about. So let's go down the list, shall we? Now, on this year alone, we've seen Badlands National Park, Crater Lake National Park, and Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore all switching to a fee system that does not allow you to pay with physical cash. Now, these are just some of the handful of parks that are doing this. And it kind of made me think about a very common issue that happens with cash that's made out of thin air. How good is the reception in these parks? If you're going to tell me that I need to pay through an online app, just how long will it take me to get a proper connection to pay to get in? Now, imagine a nightmare of holding up a line because you can't get online. Sure, you could use a card, but you and I both know that this could possibly not happen anymore. I know people who go out the house with their phones just because everything's on there, even their money. And I keep saying, bring some cash. You never know when you might need it. But with these changes, it kind of feels as if that advice is going to become obsolete too. And like I said, they'll accept your credit or debit cards, but those also rely on a network that could possibly be downed in a grid down scenario. Now, I'm pretty sure that you've experienced going to a store, it could be Target, could be Walmart, or any other store, and offered to pay via credit card, and they say that, oh, my system's down. It's not a foolproof system. If only we had a way to pay for goods which was foolproof, huh? Something that we can take with us wherever we go that doesn't rely on a network or internet connection. Oh wait, that does exist. It's called cash. If you guys follow the channel, you would know that I've posted a short video talking about a particular Walmart that I visited that was not accepting cash. That was a nightmare and a half. But this is progress, right? If you asked Washington and our lawmakers, this is progress. This is the next big thing. And this is also another form of control. So here's Catherine Austin Fitts talking about the danger of having a digital dollar. Now, I know I talked about this before, but it fits right in with what's about to happen to us.
So, Tucker, the one of the bedrocks of freedom is freedom to do financial transactions, including privately, or freedom to do where you want to do and wherever you want to do. And unfortunately, as the financial system has become more and more digital, you see more and more not only invasive surveillance, but more and more controls. You referred to Canada, perfect example. And the reality, as the financial system gets more controlling and more invasive, it's a little bit like bringing up a corral around us. And CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, and vaccine passports or digital IDs are sort of the last shutting of the gate. It's hard for many people to imagine the risks here because we're so used to living with financial transaction freedom, and we don't understand that when this gate closes on us, we literally will be sitting in a system where the central banks believe that our assets belong to them, and they can dictate where we can spend money and what we can spend money on. The important thing to understand is central bank digital currencies are not currencies. It's a financial financial transaction control grid, and it gives the ability for the central bankers, and they've said this publicly, the ability to not only set the rules centrally, but enforce the rules centrally. If you don't behave, you can have your money turned off.
Scary stuff, huh? And this service is coming soon. According to the Fed's website, we should expect it by July of this year. It also explains the service by saying that, quote, the FedNow service is a new instant payment infrastructure developed by the Federal Reserve that allows financial institutions of every size across the U.S. to provide safe and efficient instant payment services. Through financial institutions participating in the FedNow service, businesses and individuals can send and receive instant payments in real time around the clock every day of the year. Financial institutions and their service providers can use the service to provide innovative instant payment services to customers, and recipients will have full access to funds immediately, allowing for greater financial flexibility when making time-sensitive payments, end quote. Now, let's go back to the controlling aspect of this whole digital dollar situation. Senator Elizabeth Warren has pushed for an H&R Block at the federal level. At that point, they can just check your account, especially if your bank account is linked to the IRS. They'll check whatever you've made, calculate your taxes, and voila. They can jump right in and just take what they think is your taxes. No write-offs, not much room to think about it, just wham bam, thank you for your tax dollars, ma'am. Look at it this way too. You probably can't even dispute tickets, like parking tickets or violations, just swoop. They're already taking it away from you. Ran a stop sign? Swoop, taking that too. The most terrifying part of it all is that they can freeze your money for whatever reason that they see fit. We already saw this with Canada and their truckers. Y'all remember that last year, right? And just because their point of view didn't quite align with the government's, they had their bank accounts frozen. Do you guys think that's fair? Now, how will they reel us in with this new program? Well, I imagine that they're probably going to give us some form of an incentive first, maybe in the form of programmable money. Oh, what's programmable money? It's money that has a limited amount of time. So in short, the money expires. That's actually on the Fed's website. Expiring money is also defined as one whose value falls to zero after a specific date. It's a potential monetary policy tool. Programmability, a technical feature made possible by digitalization, can accelerate decisions to spend it, making it a very effective means for stimulating consumption. Kind of like digital stimulus checks. This could be very useful for the central banks and governments in distributing aid to people during severe recessions or events like pandemics or calamities when higher uncertainty makes people spend less. Now, I gotta ask you guys, am I being paranoid at this point? Or is this something that is for sure to affect us and our money? Now, at the end of it, I bring you the message, and it's up to you guys to check it all out for yourself and make your own opinions out of it. Very, very concerning times, guys. Now, of course, for the best way to invest in gold, there is a link in the description down below this video. Now, to say that this changes everything would be an understatement. And it's also why I'm diversifying my portfolio by investing in different markets. Now, I've got some in the stock market, some in real estate, and of course, there's always the dependable investment in precious metals like gold. Gold has actually stood the test of time for centuries. So that's why I have a link for you guys in the description down below for the best way to invest in gold. But with inflation the way it is, I'm putting up as much protection around my wealth as possible. And this would not be possible without a proper cash flow. Now, if you guys are interested in adapting, some of the methods that I've been implementing myself, like side hustles, small businesses, particularly wise investments in different markets, and of course, budgeting to make sure that I make the most out of every single dollar, feel free to join us over in the Patreon community. There's a link in the description down below this video. The road to financial freedom is rough, that's for sure, but you can get through it with the right wheels. Now, before I go, guys, please drop a thumbs up for the video. I really appreciate that, and subscribe for your daily dose of the truth. Appreciate you guys watching. Please be kind to one another, and I'll see you on the next one.